Ladies and gentlemen, welcome! Believe it or not, I have just had this game and I thought, you know what? I know some people, some lovely fine friends of mine who would love to see this. And more than that, I'd love to have my insight on it because as you guys said, you really want to hear more about the tactical side of the game, and more than that, people want to hear my opinion. Which is great for me because I love talking about myself, and it's something that I generally resist because I'm a very arrogant person by nature. I have quite an addictive personality. I know that unless I pull myself back, grab my t-shirt and just, then I can easily become the village twat. I very much enjoy talking about myself, and I'm going to stop it right now. Alright. I'm also very annoyed. Alright? This is my annoyed face. I recorded this once already. And it was awesome. It was witty. It was humorous. It was the best commentated replay ever. Now I can say that because no one can factually disprove it. And then I realized I didn't actually have my mic plugged in. Which is probably something you should check before you record a 25-minute video as a YouTuber, but that's for peasants. So, here we are. T-62A. Oh, and by the way, yes, behind me is a travesty. It's an absolute mess. I'm well aware I'm having an upheaval of, like, the portion of my life that is right behind me. It's not, you're not going to miss anything in this game, I promise you. We'll be back to normal soon. Do not panic. Do not remove your clothes and run around naked. People do that. Right? T-62A, one of the trio of Russian medium tanks, Object 140, Object 430, T-62A. A lot of people don't think I have this tank, or don't know I have this tank. Because for quite a while I didn't have this tank. I had the 140, I had the 430, I thought, alright, I've hit the two poles. Well, not the two poles, I've hit one extreme, which I'll talk about later, and I've got what I need. I've got the versatility. The 140, it can do everything the other two can, and in a lot of places, it does better. I don't think I'd ever need the T-62A, didn't think I'd benefit from it, didn't think it would hold a candle really to the 140. Boy! I was mistaken, and I'll tell you what, I like talking about myself. I also like being wrong, okay, because being wrong actually means that you have an opportunity to learn something, right? If you're right all the time, or you think you're right all the time, which I have struggled with before, you never open your mind enough to learn anything that's wrong. Advice from Wallst. Okay, alright, I'm gonna go up to a regular vocabulary voice level now. T-62A is a beautiful tank, it's gorgeous. 50 kilometers an hour top speed, that was the thing I'd point to and I'd say, I don't need that in my life. Object 140, Object 430, yeah, 55. That's 5 kilometers an hour better. That's 5 kilometers an hour I'll be able to use to get to the top of the hill on mines to compete for really early medium tank positions. Yeah! T-62A only has 580 horsepower. Pfft, compared to the 700 on the 140 and the bloody 430. It's piss poor. On shameful display. That's what I thought. Alright? And then I looked a bit further, and I saw that the T-62A actually has better gun stabilization than any of the others. On paper, compared to the 140, it's 0.01 better in accuracy and 0.1 better in aim time. Right, both tanks, Object 140 and T-62A, have 9.09 rounds per minute with a 100mm gun, 120 after damage, giving them a fairly good DPM. Object 140, Object 430, god damn the names! Object 430 has 9.38 And yes, I'm incapable of talking without waving my hands around. Deal with it. Object 140, 9.28 DPM. But I'll tell you what, can you not feel that? No, you can't feel that because it misses all the time. It has the worst gun stabilization on any tier 10 well, probably any tier 10 heavy, no. It has the worst gun stabilization on any tier 10 medium tank. It's disgraceful. It literally, it says it's a medium tank, the 430, and then it excels at one thing. That's not what medium tanks are supposed to do. It has 120mm of hull armor, the best on any tier 10 medium tank, tied with the bloody 121, and standard medium tank, bear in mind. But it excels at one thing, and that's getting in there and brawling, which is fair enough. Object 430 is at the top of the A44, the Object 430 version 2. Those are up-close brawlers. Do not ask me what the Object 416 is doing in that tech tree. I think Wargaming was like, it has a rear-mounted channel, so it goes in with the brawling tanks. Yes. Yeah. I'm gonna play because people get annoyed at me if I just pause the game and then talk for too long. So here, have about another 30 seconds of gameplay before I actually remember what I was going to talk about and talk about that again. Itches. So you can see why I thought the T-62A was bad, because I thought I just don't need the turret armor. That's what this thing was about. People point to me and say, hey, the T-62A has great turret armor, it's much better than the 140, and I was like, yeah, but the 140 works. It has the speed, the mobility, and its turret armor is okay. It's not great, but it will get the job done. It will bounce some shells occasionally. Yeah, you'll take some hits from the cupolas and the overmatched engine on top in close quarters, but, you know, that happens to every tank. What's the difference? And I also thought, Object 140 has 1 degree more gun depression. Look at the flexibility that gives me. 1 degree, that's 6! 6 whole degrees, that's nothing compared to 5 on the T-62A and 140. And I'll tell you why I'm so wrong. I'll tell you why I am utterly incorrect. It's because I play the T-62A so differently than I play the 140. And maybe this is just me. Maybe I'm delusional and stupid. I'm almost certain of the second one. I have so much more confidence in the T-62A because I know I will bounce your heat shells. Right? I know I will bounce your AP shells. You can fire HE at me, I'll laugh my way to the shops as I'm buying damage. That analogy just fell on its face. I love the T-62A because of what it gives me. I am so confident in this tank, and I'm going to prove it to you with this gameplay. So, we have just basically annihilated the eastern flank. We've got a wolf pack here of IS-7s and 260s and Batchats and me. So, yeah, everything died. Unfortunately for us, everything only turned out to be a Centurion and a Grill and hopefully a Jagdpanzer. Now, what I'm about to show you is very reminiscent to me of what I told you about attacking on Redshire, which I doubt anyone will remember. It's one of the few times that low ground, as in here and not here, is actually better. And it can actually be used to your advantage far easier than this position. If I was to yellow out here, sure, I could go along here, but as the crow flies, it's a lot easier to go across here, cut off half of the map. That's one motivation for it. Also, out here is so far away from the most important engagement in the map at the moment, which is here. I can basically have the same impact over this region of the map from here that I can from here. So why wouldn't I go here? Because that's in the middle of the map, and I'm telling you, unless you're at the end of the game and you're backed into a corner, you want to limit the enemy team's options for coming at you, I'd encourage you to try and be as close to the middle of the map as you can, especially important on maps like Kharkov, which don't have an established meta. Like, game to game, you'll see medium tanks going completely different places. You don't know what exactly is going to happen, so if you're in the middle, especially if you're in a not very versatile tank like the T-95 or something. It's better to be in the middle of the map because you can then adapt your gameplay to an engagement that occurs on either side of you far easier than you can if you're overcommitted out to the side or the corner of a map somewhere. You're far more flexible the closer you are to the middle of the map. There are some maps where that just won't apply, but use your head. And this is what I mean about the low ground. We can close the distance to the enemy. I don't have to worry about that yak panzer. I can focus up my time right now on getting into a position where I can really make a good impact in this game. Worried about getting shot in the side by the IS-7 here, but you're going to see Dystonia Man. Da, da, da. Actually, that wasn't Dystonia Man. That was just a tangle shot. My bad. But yeah, I can... You like that one? That was beautiful, I'm sorry. I have been on a crusade to aim at tracks, because that's something I'm notoriously bad at. You give me a small target to aim at, like the Cupola on an AMX M449, which everyone keeps telling me is a weak spot. I'm sure it is if I could hit the damn thing. I'm tracking tanks. Not only gets me more spotting damage, but it keeps them in place and it makes me feel good about myself as well. But counteracting my Dystonia, I leave the shot and I keep my hand perfectly still. Because, I mean, you guys know Dystonia fine motor control is not good. I try and lift this finger, the whole muscle joint goes into spasm. So I predict, I aim, I leave my hand there, and then other hand, as I use the spacebar to fire, goes down, works perfectly. This is why I counter something that really is a pain in my ass in this game. So, Danger! It's my middle name. Wallst Danger Wallace. I'm keeping that. That's good. It's damn good. My hat! I feel naked. Okay, you know what? It'll be far better if I am naked, eh? There we are. I'm naked now. I feel somehow closer to you guys. I don't know. I just really... Yeah, that feels a lot better. Anyway, for some reason I lost my train of thought, as have all the ladies watching. Yes, Danger, as I was talking about, Clanwagon and the IS-4. I gotta remember what not to do this, otherwise... yeah, it won't go well. Clanwagon, as I was saying, they are using that hill to their advantage, and that's why I was reversing, trying to get an engagement on this IS-7. You know what's pissing me off? I commentated so much better on this replay the first time I did it. Now I'm tired and I'm naked. I don't know how it came to this. It's all gone terribly wrong. I'm nude! Now, I'm a 21-year-old nudist shouting in my room at 6 AM. Let's move on. Yeah, we're just gonna... Well, I guess this is comment on the situation. It's really hot. Yeah, and we got the side of a T-62A heavy. Now, I'd like to say these are really valuable shots that I'm making, but to be honest, the way that guy's playing, he'd probably kill himself anyway. I mean, that's basically what he's doing. And, I'm gonna level with you guys. I'm gonna come clean, alright? Right now, I am hammering the 5 key in an attempt to use my med kit to restore my ammo rack and my engine. I was stressed, so leave me alone. Okay. I have completely lost my train of thought. I am worried at the moment. The Danger is still out on that ridge line, but there's a batch out. There's an IS-4 encroaching on our base. We've got an IS-7, we've got an RT defending, but I'm not so confident that that's going to do well. I want to get out of here. I really want to get out of it. I don't like hanging around on 750 health, especially when there's an E100 so close by. The enemy are going to come up the east at some point. That Batchat is a good player. He's going to want to exploit every opportunity he can. So I really want to get out of here. This position is far too exposed with the state of the game the way it is. So as soon as I can repair my engine, I'm going to do my best to get out of here. At the moment, trying to keep up awareness of the situation. The IS-7 in base has just gone down, means even more danger. I've got to give credit to this caravan or caravan you see right here, reloading for 31 seconds. He did wonderfully this game. Really great game by him, and it was really helpful to have him on our team. And this guy makes a serious mistake, and the E100, I believe, puts a heat shell straight. I am not sure where that one went in. I doubt it was in my chariot. Because, as I said, the armor of this tank... Oh, no, it was in my chariot, I believe. Let's have a look at that, shall we? That is a machine gun. You saw nothing. Yes, I'm worried about the danger on the opposing team's hill, the Kranwagen. But as you've seen, the E100 is actually blocking the Kranwagen shots if I push forward right now. So I'm like, okay, I'll push forward. The Kranwagen won't have any decent shots. And I do manage to get the tracking shot. The Leo goes a bit aggressive. And that Batchat is having a go. He's having a good old go of it. But the Batchat's gun, 340mm of pen with heat, 2.7 20-second shell delay. It was never blessed with accuracy or aim time. It's a French autoloader. You do not fire it at range or on the move if you're at any kind of distance. And even with heat, couldn't pick up the kill there, and he did actually bounce one off the flat side of my tracks. Which I find quite funny. And by the way, Archie missed me by about 10 meters there. So of course my crew is stunned for 12 seconds like, ah! Hunting! Loud noises! But of course, if you are in a tank and you get penned by an FB215B, 183mm HESH shell, high explosive squash head ammunition, that does 1,750 alpha damage, as in higher than any artillery shell in the game, and that penetrates you, your crew's like, ah, that's okay, what's next? So I just wanted to point out that piece of logic there. Archie shells are magical. They come from the sky and they stun you for no reason. I'm sorry, that mechanic is so bad. So I'm coming out onto the eastern part of the map, and I'm not thinking that the enemy is going to be there yet, which is why I drove into that lamppost. I do some part-time work as a maintenance man, so I was just checking that the supports were, you know, hammered into the ground well, and they were. So now we can go on to like shooting tanks and stuff. Alright, so I put myself in an, if I do say, elegant position right now, where I can get vision down this flank, and you're gonna see. I hear beeping for no reason. You're gonna see something that I do quite often. I'm gonna be going backwards and forwards, you know, because I want to be able to confuse enemy having a shot on my ass. It might give me a couple more seconds. And right now, if an enemy pops up right there, I won't spot him, because my viewport, where my tank actually spots from, is probably there or there. So me reversing backwards and forwards actually gives me a better chance to spot the enemy around the corner. And there's that Batchat. I know my aim time is so much better than his, so I do go for a snapshot. Batchat aim time compared to Russian medium tank, he's always going to come out worse in that fight. And our team is not doing well at all. The axe goes down to the Batchat, and I know that I can't stay here. We've got the Kranwagen out on the flank. That's alarming. I'm still naked. We're having another look. There's there's an IS-7. There's an IS-4. Sorry, I'm very distracted by the nudity. I'm so weird. I love it. So I can't get into an engagement with that IS-4. That's exactly what he wants. He's a heavy tank. He wants me to engage him in close quarters. And the Batchat either gets very unlucky there or aims poorly. Kleinwagen does some beautiful work against the enemy Kleinwagen. And the Batchat now is clearly reloading. And I'm like, okay, well, he's got nowhere else to go. The Kleinwagen's following him. Obviously, he's got some shells left. I want to put myself in a position where I can get that shot. Beautiful work by the Kleinwagen, reducing him to a one-shot. Now, what's this IS-4 going to do? It looks like he's going to zerg over the middle of the field. Not necessarily the wisest course, but I'm alarmed right now about the arty. That's a Batchat 15558 tier 10 French auto-loading arty. He could miss me and kill me right now. And he has 4 shells with a 6-second shell delay. That's not good to be Wallst on 98 health in that situation. You can see me wiggling. I'm like, okay. At this point, I was thinking, honestly, I was thinking that Kleinwagen is dead. If I go in there on a one-shot and the IS-7's got a good position, he's angled well against me just by chance, I really don't want to die. And even if I don't die to the IS-4, I was thinking I'd probably die to the Batchat, alright? So at this point I was thinking, okay, I'll get close to the Leo. I'll group up with him, we can finish this game off together. I was trying to consolidate my allies, my firepower, use what we have left in that game. But as it happens, the Leo runs straight into the Batchat, hidden away in the town. The Batchat kills himself. I'm sorry, can we investigate that quickly? Because that's just... I don't have my free camera mode, do I? Yeah, I do. Okay, alright. Yeah, plus point, I got my free camera mode to work, and plus point, I'm currently downloading patch 9.18. Someone sent me it, I'll credit them in a video I make for it, but... God, I have it! I can actually kick, congratulations, your dick into high gear now. Are you serious? You would rather... I wanna just go out my house right now, walk back down to this battlefield, and hang a douchebag sign on this arty. Literally, you could have just shot the lead. Even if you miss him, you're gonna... I'm sorry, but from the evidence displayed at hand right now, I am led to conclude that you are a selfish, arrogant prat. That's not to say you are, but the evidence would suggest such. Anyway, sidearm of the IS-4, 160mm and very challenging at the best of times, but that is the flat side, 90 degrees, completely flat angle, and we have APCR, which does better against spaced armor, 264mm. Our pen goes straight through, picks up the kill for us, securing an ace tanker game in T-62A with about 1,244 base XP. Kleinwagen as well got an ace tanker, which was beautiful. That guy played an epic game, 5,000 damage for him in the end. It was absolutely fantastic. Don't do it. Don't do it. Right. So, to conclude, I was wrong about the T-62A. I've been holding a grudge against this, getting this tank for quite a while now. I was like, okay, I'll buy it at some point. It's not high on my priority list. It should have been. Right? The T-62A just has its place. I can't put my finger on exactly why. There's a lot of logical reasons why it shouldn't. And to be honest, the fact that it changes my gameplay so much is potentially a bit asinine. But I know what I can do in this tank. And it makes me play better. It makes me play more aggressively. And I think that's part of why I enjoy this tank. It's I adopt a different gameplay in it. Maybe it's just new, maybe it's different, maybe it's just me. Either way, gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. It's been an absolute pleasure recording this for you twice. So, Until the next video, which will be congratulations, you're a dick. I hope that install works. Wish me luck on that, and until next time, farewell.